When Gigabyte launched their design of gaming OC RTX3080, I was not really fond of it, but now this is one of my favorite design. And to know why, please follow this review. Hey guys, welcome back to Budway YouTube channel. This is TG, your host, and today I am doing review of this graphics card. This is Gigabyte's RTX3080 Gaming OC. But before, let's roll the intro. Gigabyte's Gaming OC lineup of products is quite popular around the world, and since last couple of generations, Gigabyte has kept their design aesthetics almost similar, and it's no different in this generation. I have done unboxing video of this graphics card as well, and if you're interested to watch after this video, click on the link in the description. However, let's get back into the card. Let's talk about this graphics card specification. This graphics card is part of NVIDIA's Ampere architecture. It has second generation of ray tracing cores, third generation of tensor cores, has a total of whopping 8704 CUDA cores. Also, this RTX 3080 has got 10 GB of GDDR6 memory on a 320-bit memory interface. Apart from standard NVIDIA Ampere architecture features, what we have in this graphics card, what Gigabyte gives us in this Gaming OC series of graphics card. First thing is their WindForce 3X cooling solution, and the second is, to me, their 4 years of warranty to back their quality, which is a very nice addition in my opinion. Let's talk about the dimensions quickly. The graphics card has a length of 32 cm, a width of 12.9 cm, a height of 5.5 cm, making it a 3-slot graphics card right now. From the factory, this card has 1800 MHz of boost clock right out of the box, which is quite higher than NVIDIA founder specs, which has 1710 MHz out of the box. Weighing 3 pounds or 1.36 kg, this WindForce 3X cooling solution has two 90mm fans and one 80mm. All these fans are spinning in alternate direction, improving airflow. Like other generation, in this generation as well, this fans has the same pattern on their fan blade, which Gigabyte says improves the airflow. Also, these fans will remain quiet if there is not much load in the graphics card or it doesn't crosses a threshold temperature. Design and aesthetics wise, this graphics card has got a nice shroud. However, this shroud is mainly made up of plastic, has quite a lot of curves, giving it a gamery look. With some brushed aluminum finish, this plastic shroud stretches towards the end, and at the end it curves on the graphics card. On the back side, we have got nice metal backplate which gives this card a nice rigidity. However, it doesn't help with the heat dissipation because there is no thermal pad beneath. The PCB is quite standard, and the power connector here we have are two 8-pin, and these are actually connected by extension cable from the shorter PCB which is here. On the back plate, Gigabyte's extended heatsink design allows airflow to pass through, providing better heat dissipation. They're calling their screen cooling solution. Gigabyte is also kind enough to provide us with large copper plate and 7 heat pipes connecting to the GPU die as well as the VRM directly. The RGB implementation on this graphics card is quite small with a Gigabyte logo. This entire section lights up in RGB that you can also control with the RGB Fusion 2.0 software. Talking about the I/O ports, Gigabyte is kind enough to provide us 3 DisplayPort 1.4a and 2 HDMI 2.1, which is one more than what we get from the other brands or even the NVIDIA Founders Edition. All these ports are capable of 8K at 60Hz and 4K at 120Hz. Specs aside, I can understand that you guys are more interested to know how this performs in your favorite games. But before that, let me introduce you to my test system. All these graphics cards are benchmarked and tested in this system. Consists of a Ryzen 9 5900X, G-Skill DDR4 RAM, 32GB at 3600 CL16. The motherboard here is MSI X570. Enough said about the test rig, let's go on with the gaming benchmark, starting with Shadow of the Tomb Raider. In Shadow of the Tomb Raider and other games in this review, I will be directly comparing this graphics card against RTX 2080 and RTX 2080 Ti. So again, this card has scored on 4K resolution, 82 FPS. Compared to this is actually 30% faster than RTX 2080 Ti and 78% faster than RTX 2080. Dropping down the resolution to 1440p, this graphics card scored an average FPS of 140, which is 22% faster than RTX 2080 Ti and 62% faster than RTX 2080. Falling through in 1080p resolution, this graphics card is actually 10% faster than RTX 2080 Ti and 41% faster than RTX 2080. On the next game, which is our Red Dead Redemption 2 on everything Ultra on DirectX 12 API, in 4K resolution, this graphics card scores 62 FPS, which is 24% faster than RTX 2080 Ti and 67% faster than RTX 2080. Dropping down to 1440p resolution, again this scores on nice and comfortable 90 FPS on average, which is 22% faster than RTX 2080 Ti and 60% faster than RTX 2080. Again, dropping down the resolution to 1080p for all the 1080p gamers out there, this scores again a nice 107 FPS on average, which is again 18% faster than 2080 Ti and 52% faster than RTX 2080. On our next game, which is Division 2, it's a nice balanced game at 4K DirectX 12 API with ultra settings. This graphics card scores 70 FPS on average, which is 30% faster than RTX 2080 Ti and 75% faster than RTX 2080. On 1440p, this is 27% faster than RTX 2080 Ti and 75% faster than RTX 2080, scoring 125 FPS. Dropping down to 1080p, this graphics card scores 174 FPS, which is 25% faster than RTX 2080 Ti and 68% faster than RTX 2080. Coming to the newer generation title, starting with Cyberpunk on 4K resolution, everything ultra high. This graphics card scores 43 FPS on average, which is 38% faster than RTX 2080 Ti and 78% faster than RTX 2080. The difference though reduces again as we have seen on the other games. At 1440p, this graphics card scores 85 FPS on average, which is 20% faster than RTX 2080 Ti and 73% faster than RTX 2080. Dropping down to 1080p, the difference reduces further. This graphics card essentially becomes 20% faster than RTX 2080 Ti and 60% faster than RTX 2080. Coming back to another recent title, which is NVIDIA sponsored Watchdog Legion. At 4K ultra settings, our 3080 scores on average 51 FPS, which is 21% faster than RTX 2080 Ti and 75% faster than RTX 2080. RTX 2080 just manages barely to reach the 30 FPS limit. On 1440p, this card again scores 79 FPS, which is 17% faster than RTX 2080 Ti and 51% faster than RTX 2080. On 1080p resolution, this graphics card scores 100 FPS on average, which is a very comfortable score, though the difference between the other diminishes, where it ended up becoming only 11% faster than RTX 2080 Ti and 45% faster than RTX 2080. For the next games, I will let the slideshow show you all the values that this graphics card scored on these games. The games also include Call of Duty Warzone, which is a nice balanced modern title that actually demands some GPU power as well, and this graphics card really nicely scores some high FPS compared to the last generation of product as expected. Same goes with Death Stranding, Control and Godfall. Now as you can see on the raw performance side, RTX 3080 is quite powerful, and this gaming OC is no slouch either. Let's go on with the productivity results, what we have got on this graphics card. Starting with V-Ray, this Gigabyte Gaming OC RTX 3080 scored 664 MPAs, which is 78% faster than RTX 2080 Ti, which scored 373 MPAs. As well as it is 245% faster than the last generation RTX 2080. Next up is our Blender rendering using the GPU. In Junk Shop, this rendered the image on only 13.13 seconds, which is 22% faster than RTX 2080 Ti. Next up is Handbrake encoding using NVENC H264. The score what we have got can be considered as margin of error because it's just between 1 second here and there. Next we have our synthetic benchmarks, and this is quite interesting and the numbers are huge. In 3D Mark times pi, our Gigabyte OC scores 17,403 scores in GPU, which is 20% faster than the RTX 2080 Ti and 66% faster than RTX 2080. Next, 3D Mark times pi extreme, our graphics card scores 8,752 in GPU score compared to 6,800 from RTX 2080. On Firestrike, our GPU scores 41,142, which is 20% faster than RTX 2080 Ti. I hope you enjoyed the gaming benchmarks, the performance scores, and it helps you identify if this is suitable for you. But apart from it, what's extra in this graphics card that you need to know? And let me start with the GPU clock's performance. You know that GPU Boost 2.0 is quite unique, and regardless of card, it kicks in, and based on the card's cooling solution and the design, it gives you a higher base boost than what NVIDIA spec is. And it's no different in this graphics card as well. On an average, due to GPU Boost 2.0, I did saw this graphics card is actually boosting way higher than what Gigabyte actually mentions in their specification. Due to GPU Boost 2.0, I have seen this graphics card reaching 1980 to 1990 megahertz at times. However, this model actually at times lowers till 1760 that I have seen. Normally, on 1080p games, if that game is not very graphics heavy, the GPU core clocks tends to stay between 1980 to 1950 megahertz. If you crank up the resolution to 2K, the core clock determined by the GPU boost here stays between 1950 to 1905, and at times it can go 1890 megahertz, which is still way higher than what Gigabyte spec says. In 4K, in high demanding game, I have seen the core clock averaging between 1905 to 1890, 1875, but at times I did saw in some of the games it actually went down to 1760. Again, it's part of GPU boost, and even though it doesn't retains as much higher core clock on 4K titles as the MSI Supreme X that I did review, you can check link up here. Still, it's good enough. On to our next topic, which is thermals. Thermally this card is good. It's really good. That's what made this graphics card one of my favorites. The reason being, when I did my testing in this cabinet here, which is a small Metallic Gear Neo Air and with 2 intakes and 2 out, this graphics card actually stayed cool. This graphics card temperature stayed around 67 degree on an average. However, when the games are quite heavy and they're running for quite some long time, it actually reached the maximum temperature of 72. I didn't saw it went past 72 degrees at any of my tests, even in this torture test. So in my opinion, this is much more better than the Supreme X thermal performance. So there you go. While talking about thermals, we can't really ignore the noise, right? And I can tell you, this card is quieter. On my decibel meter test, putting the decibel meter just 20 to 30 centimeter far from the case on a closed side panel, this card is actually 38.5 decibel louder, which is still quite acceptable, and it's not loud by any means. On the discussion of power draw, how much power this graphics card pulls on the entire system when it's plugged in, right? During an average gaming session, you can consider that on my test rig setup back here, the graphics card or the entire system actually draws between 500 to 545 watts of power, and the max power draw from the wall was 555 watts. But do note, all the RTX 30 series are power hungry, so it's no different either. when I did my special stress test. If you're not aware, watch my MSI Supreme X review. This graphics card actually makes the entire system draw 626 watts from the wall, which is quite a bit higher. But again, it's not normal, so you can't expect that. 545 watts is what you can expect on average gaming session. Conclusion time. Overall, I'm very happy with this graphics card, and this has become my one of the favorite graphics card in this RTX 3080 implementation. And Gigabyte, good job. You have done a great job on the thermals as well as on the noise profile of this graphics card. And cherry on top, Gigabyte provides 4 years of warranty, provided I have registered within 30 days of purchase. And yeah, it's really good. Now price wise, as you know, nothing is the same right now. It was expected to be 10% higher than the MSRP, but since the launch, it's nowhere to be seen. So let's not talk about the price anymore, but let me talk about why you should buy this graphics card. Say you get an option, though you don't have any right now, you might not get right now or maybe in a couple of months, but still, if you have an option to choose between multiple brands, I think this should be one of the top of your pick, because this is one of the good performing cards and would be on one of the cheapest too when you can get it. So I have my full recommendations to give to buy this graphics card. Couple of points why. This will be quite cheaper than Strix or the Aorus or any other higher end card. Why I am saying it? Because GPU Boost 2.0 is so mature and so good that based on the graphics card situation or the graphics card cooling solution or the thermal headroom, it can overclock whatever overclock that you get on the higher tier cards. Do note, when the temperature rises, all those graphics cards also do reduce their GPU boost clock. However, this one, though this one reduces the GPU boost clock by quite a bit when you are in a heavy game and running a little hotter compared to the others like Strix, which can retain the higher GPU boost clock at high temperature, but getting a couple of FPS less compared to the Strix or any other high-end card doesn't make the value proposition to me. On top, it has got 1 year of extra warranty provided by Gigabyte if this is available in your region. So this graphics card has got my full recommendation, and I can tell you if you can get it. Also, why you should not. If you don't like Gigabyte or their Gigabyte Gaming OC, yeah, it's not card for you. If you only like the latest and greatest, money no bar, yeah, it's not for you. You have to go and look for other cards. So there you go guys, hope you like this review. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Your like and subscribes are really helpful and they really help me grow my channel. If you have some comments, leave them down below. If you have any questions, leave them down below as well, and I will try to reply you as much as I can. Thanks again guys, see you on the next one. I have a Asus Strix RTX 3080 review coming up very soon, so stay tuned.